Dan from nextlevelguitar.com. Thank you for joining me today. We have an in-depth look at the style of Dan Auerbach of the Black Keys. Great player, really cool stuff. Of course, it all starts with the guitar here. I have an old Gretsch here. This is an old country gentleman. It's got a lot of unique features to it, and that's really what we're after in our guitar selection, is something that's unique, something that's different. Pickups are going to also be a big contributing factor into our tone. Most popular pickups are either single coil pickups or humbucking pickups, and he really seems to favor the Filtertrons or P90s, which are, in my mind, kind of the halfway point between those two pickups. We have Filtertrons in this guitar, P90s you can find anywhere, and that's not to say that you have to have those pickups either. You can certainly achieve some really cool grungy tones with single coil pickups and humbuckers as well. A feature that I have on my guitar that I'm going to take full advantage of when I'm playing in this style is my Bigsby tremolo system here. And Bigsby's are really cool, a lot of fun to play with, and they're different than your standard tremolo systems in that they have a little bit more of a subtle range to them. With the Bigsby, however, you only have a small range that you're wavering the pitch when you depress all the way. And this is a different style of tremolo arm playing. You can use this to your advantage, and you can really get after it a little bit more than you can some of the other tremolo systems, and you have a little bit more of a subtle feel. So let's take a look at some lead examples that we can use when we're playing in this style. Our backing track that we're playing against today is in the key of D minor, and subsequently we're going to stick to all D minor pentatonic ideas today. D minor pentatonic, our favorite box here, is going to start up at the 10th fret 6th string, and here it is. And I'm also going to be doing some playing horizontally, so being able to visualize your scale going across the string is also very helpful. From the root note here going down or backwards. Or here's another D on the 2nd string. Here's a D on the 3rd string. Being able to riff both in position and across the strings is going to be very helpful. One of the ideas that comes up time and time again when I'm playing in this style is, how do we creatively fill up space? And one of the methods that I found is really useful is doing some unison bends. It really kind of adds some dimension to our lead play and gives us a way to fill up a lot of sound very effectively. So we're going to start there today and take a look at some licks that we can play going across that feature some unison bends. First of all, what is a unison bend? Well, quite simply, if I'm playing any note out of my scale, here's my D or my root out of my scale, what I'm going to do is look for an opportunity to bend the lower string up to match that pitch. So if I have a D here, I'm looking for the note that I can bend up a whole step on the adjacent string below it. So there's that note right there, 13th fret. If I bend that up a whole step, I'm able to achieve the same note. Now, once you find that note, play them together and notice what happens with your tone. Really cool sound for this style. You hear the two notes being out of tune with one another and gradually coming in tune until they sound like one note. What's cool about that is it kind of sounds ugly in a beautiful way to my ears, and that's a great part of this style. You can kind of hear the vibration between the two notes up until you match the pitch, and then it sounds like it fits. So once you get this idea of these unison bends, we can start working these across the scale like I talked about. And then we can start building some riffs off of those. I could play a simple line, something like this, that features those unison bends. perhaps combine it with some single note playing there. Or, for instance, more in position, I could do something like this. Nice full sounding lead line there. So what we're doing here is we're bending, unison bend and release. Double stop here. Unison bend on strings 2 and 3 and release. Double stop here, 10th fret, 2nd and 3rd strings. And we close out with some single notes. Or a little variation on that same idea, maybe just closed out a different way. So there I started out the same way, and I simply put a different tail on the lick with a whole step bend up to the root. Here's that example once more. One thing to keep in mind if you have a tremolo bar is to start practicing your improv and playing some of these riffs, some other examples that you've learned throughout the lesson. Try all of these examples while holding onto your bar. And this is a great way to achieve a unique vibrato sound. If I just played a simple lick like this, but I'm able to keep hold of my bar while I play that lick, I can now access that vibrato style. Sometimes it's just a matter of keeping your pinky on it, maybe a couple of fingers while you're picking the rest of the strings. You know, just running up and down your scale while hanging onto the bar is great practice. Gives it a different sound than finger vibrato. You can really get aggressive with it. Creates a great sounding vibrato. Once again, another stylized element to playing in this style that really sets it off. It makes it sound great. Another element we can put to good use when we're playing this style is playing some licks and some runs and riffs using double stops. Once again, in the spirit of filling up space with our playing, double stops are a very effective way to do that, playing 2-note groupings and playing some concepts with those. And you know, sometimes maybe we're not even thinking that it's a guitar solo so much as a part that we're trying to add to the music. So we can maybe repeat an idea and use it as a part that follows whatever chord progression we're playing, whatever jam we're doing. In this case, we're playing against our backing track, so some double stop riffs like this work really well as a complement to the track. Break down this double stop riff. I'm here at the 7th fret with my ring finger barring strings 3 and 4. So I'm creating a nice little power chord idea here. And I'm toggling down to the 5th fret, same concept, strings 3 and 4. So I'm starting out bouncing between those two. Now I'm moving to some groupings on strings 2 and 3. I'm starting here at 5th fret, 3rd string, 6th fret, 2nd string to create my 4th interval there, another little power chord sound. Now I'm simply going to slide that same position up a whole step, and I'm matching. You'll hear this against the backing track. It goes really well with the way the chords change in our riff. And instead of ending the idea, I can simply loop it and, like I mentioned, create a part that works well in the context of the music. flavor to our idea. So double stops are very effective, really helpful, even if we're playing a lead fill. Same sort of concept here. I'm going to start out by barring at the 10th fret with my index finger, and I'm going to bounce between this double stop and a bent note on the 3rd string. If I'm breaking my riff into halves, that would be the first halves. If I'm breaking my riff into halves, that would be the first half. And now once again, we can think about this as a part instead of just a lick that we're playing one time only. And we can go ahead and repeat this over the progression. Of course, works well to combine these double stops with some single note lines as well. And maybe we're moving across different registers of the guitar as we play. Here's an example of a riff that would work well that incorporates some of those ideas. So here I'm starting in the higher range of the guitar, sliding into a double stop, 14th fret and 13th fret, strings 3 and 2. Playing a couple of single notes there. Popping down here at the 10th fret, playing a double stop in this position, and then closing out in the lower register all together. I'm covering a lot of ground there, but it's a very effective way to play a riff. Take these examples, be creative with them, try them against that backing track, see what you come up with. Feel free to experiment with some of the concepts that we demonstrated today. So I'm going to play a little bit more against the backing track. You guys have fun out there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.